Okay, in this segment of our study, we will look at some of the basic techniques that you use in playing lead guitar, bends and slurs and slides and things of that nature. Okay, and I want to give you a few tips on that kind of thing. I'm going to basically just fool around here in my A minor pentatonic, my main pentatonic shape. Okay, and I'm going to show you a couple things. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about bending. Okay, bending notes is something that you have to be able to do, obviously, as a lead guitar player. You know what, I have some students who don't bend very well, and they sound so much like early 60s guitar players. It's very funny how the lack of bends makes you sound. It's something that's very definitive. I have one student that he just can't get the bend, so he plays lead guitar without bending at all, and it sounds very much like 1963 or something. It's very interesting. So you want to learn how to bend, okay? And first of all, let's talk about this. If I'm going to use this note right here in my pentatonic shape, I happen to be on the 3rd string, 7th fret. That note happens to be D. And I would happen to play that with my 3rd finger. If I was playing the pentatonic pattern there, I would be using my 1st finger on the 5th fret right behind it, and then I'd be playing that D. Well, when I bend, I also put that 2nd finger down right in between, and I use all 3 fingers to help me push. Okay? It's very helpful to have as much strength as you can behind your bend. Okay? It helps you bend smoother, more accurately, helps you hang on to it longer, to let the note ring. Okay? I notice that when I do this, my 1st finger kind of crunches up in there. It doesn't matter, you don't hear what that finger's doing. All you're hearing is what the 3rd finger's doing. But those other fingers are helping to bend. Okay? When I move up to a situation maybe like on the 2nd string where I'm going to have to hit the note with my pinky, I put all 4 fingers down on that string, and I use them all to help me bend. Okay? That's one of the key elements that you want to work on. Now, I use heavier strings than a lot of people. You might not need that much strength to bend. My top high E string is an 11. Okay? But it's just, I find it helpful with all my students, and I find it helpful with most people if you put as many fingers as you can behind that bending note. Okay? Okay? And when you bend, let's talk about what a bend really is. Okay, when I bend this note in my pentatonic pattern, typically I'm bending it until it sounds like this note here. I'm bending it 2 frets. 2 frets is also known as a whole step. Okay? I'm bending that note a whole step. And if you look at a songbook and you're looking at the tablature and you see the little bend arrow, and at the top of it, it has the number 1, that means 1 whole step. Okay? Or 2 frets. Alright? So when you're first learning how to bend, you may want to try your bend, and then play that note 2 frets higher and see what it sounds like and see if you got there or not. See, I didn't get there. Right? I'm not getting there now. I'm not bending enough. I gotta bend more. There we go. And something I'm finding with a lot of my students, especially younger students, is that just bending at all in the beginning is so hard for them that they don't even bend anywhere near far enough to get that note up there. Okay? So they're struggling with that. If you're struggling with it too, you need to keep in mind that most bends are a whole step bend, and you are trying to make this note sound like that note by bending to it. Okay? There are times when you might only want to do a half step bend. So now I'm going to bend to here. And then the whole step. Okay? So those are the things you want to work on. Is you want to get your fingers down there to help push, and you want to make sure that you're bending until the pitch is the same as the note you're trying to bend to. If you need to check it by doing that kind of thing, that's fine. Okay? Okay? Also, when bending, a lot of times, a lot of common riffs, and this, I'll show you something here called a unison bend, where I'm going to hold on to my first finger on the second string, 5th fret,